with it right here with who I started with. We something like the Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, 8 Central Coast, mobbing suicide bombs, arsonists. I step in the booth and cast, I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music, I work hard at this.
That's right, and we're back live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Beautiful Linda Raza, do me a favor, man. Just hit that like, por favor, if you can. Let's go ahead and go through some formalities, and I'm going to go ahead and bring on mi amiga, that Mexican Velma. This is a series that I've entitled, Let's Politic. I'm going to go ahead and just bring on, keep doing what I'm doing. Bring on a series of voices. It doesn't matter what you are, man. It doesn't matter if it's conservative, liberal, independent, or maybe another party that I don't know of, green tea, or whatever the parties are. Here on Chicano Tube, we give a platform over to everyone's voice. Everyone has a voice right here because these are brown politics that inevitably affect brown issues, which we're going to be talking about today. Gracias to all the day oneers, everyone inside the members only, everyone that's already inside the chat right now, waiting, wanting to hear what Velma has to say today. Well, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on mi amiga, that Mexican Velma. ¿Cómo estás, amiga?
Bien, ¿cómo estás tú? How's everybody doing?
Good to see you. How's the family? Everyone good?
Yeah, good. Everybody's good.
Oh, good. Amiga, I love following you. I like seeing your post. Amiga, you have been blowing up on TikTok. You hold panels on TikTok. You don't dilly-dally around any kind of issues, and that's why I think I gravitated towards you as well. But thank you again for your time, amiga. I really do. She bumped off right there. She'll come back right now, okay? Just hit the same link, amiga. Don't forget, just hit the same link. It was probably just the internet connection. It's all good.
I'm so sorry. Somebody called me. Yeah.
It happens. It happens. I know. Amiga, the last time we did a video together, one of the clips that you had said was what about the Selena clip? It went lightweight viral on there. We had the biggest blog, the biggest page, which is brown, a biggest raza page, is the food community. He shared that one, and I know you got a lot of flack on that. One of the comments that I saw you got was, well, yeah, she's no longer here anymore, so blah, 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 blah. And I saw that you responded over to that. What did you think about the comments that you got? Because I know you were inside those comments. Were you amused by them, or what do you think about those comments?
Yeah, I think the human psyche is very funny. Because it only matters when people are alive, but whenever they're dead, again, they're like, oh well, again, like como Netflix, right? Everybody's taking Netflix out of their whole agenda because of the trans issue, right? But they're gonna come out with the Selena movie or Selena documentary, and then I also go to their comments, and it's like, oh, look at the dad trying to get money out of her. Look at this. Oh my gosh, and it's never gonna end. So you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
That's true, amiga. I mean, it might be a brown thing. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. We're going to get into a lot of topics today. I want to talk about the government shutdown. I want to talk about maybe we'll talk about EBT that's coming up, getting stopped. The government shutdown, they've tried to open it up 13 times. We'll talk about Antifa, ICE, again, brown issues. That's why you're tuned into this series. So if you like this series, Let's Politic. Go ahead and hit that like button. We got many more guests coming soon. All right, amiga, let's go ahead and just get into it. I'm going to go ahead and bring up, let me see. Let me see. A ver, cómo se hace esto. Am I going to be able to bring it up? All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. I don't know if you could see this. Okay, hold on. Gotta do this. And then OBS. Okay, we're already on OBS. So if we go over to the reaction, let me see. Can you see it? You can and you can't see it. Let me see if I could fix this. Hold on. Give me a second, amiga. A little bit better. Okay, a little bit better. I'm trying to see how you can get a full view of this. Para mirarlo. That's not it. It's probably as good as it gets. Maybe it's probably as good. Can you see, though? Can you see the screen? Can you see videos? You can? Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and just go over. Let me see if I can do this full screen. Is there a way to pop this out full screen? It isn't. And that crops it. Okay, it's going to be this. All right. Well, let's get into it, amiga. Again, brown issues. Here we go. First thing I want to go ahead and bring up, let's go ahead and talk about let's go ahead and talk about the government shutdown. Okay, there's a government shutdown that's looming, amiga. It's coming up, and it's going to start on November 1st, which is going to be on Saturday morning. Okay. And amiga, there are 350 million working Americans. These are working Americans, and there are 40 million around there. That's a number. It's an estimate. There's about 40 million people on SNAP EBT food benefits. I want to go ahead and play a video, and then I want to get your reaction on what your thoughts are on the numbers that I gave you. I have another video that's going to actually break down the percentages of what they are. 59% of those are not naturalized citizens that receive the benefits. 41% are. These are just because I'm a numbers guy. But before we do that, let's go over to the hater world media. Shout out to you. And what this young lady had to say, amiga. I want to see what you got to say. Think about this.
Straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that store. And please follow me to that motherfucking car. If you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch, you ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up.
Amiga, ¿qué?
I need some whipped coffee or that, because
I know. Sip on the macchiato, amiga. Get a drink of that. You need a caffeine boost, amiga. So, amiga, this was a video that came out. Again, EBT, it is, I don't want to make light of the situation because there are senior citizens that rely on there. There's people on Social Security that aren't earning enough that do rely on SNAP EBT. But all I want to focus on is people that are able to work, able to join the workforce, for the sake of our commentary here, and don't want to and want to keep receiving it. Can I get your thoughts on this video? And I also want to ask you, what do you think about generational EBT and generational welfare?
it's there to help you. It's not there to be a hammock. It's not there to have it like to pretty much mooch off of it for the rest of your life. If you need it because you need it, it's one thing. But if you don't need it, let somebody else have it. Now, I noticed that she has her nails done. I noticed that she has eyelashes. And don't get me wrong. Look, I get my nails done, but these are mine, right? I get the acrylic because I go to the gym. And I don't want to break my nails because I like long nails. So I try to be at least somewhat frugal with what I do. But I know for a fact that acrylics right now are expensive. Lashes are expensive. And I mean, you can't cut a month or two without doing your nails or lashes. How are your kids gonna go broke if your maintenance is too much? Maybe take a break off of your eyelashes. Like, can she fly away? I mean, I'm not trying to, say anything that's very, like coming out like forward. But I mean, hello, you've been stealing. Like, people steal all the time. What kind of threat is that?
Yeah, I don't put too much merit on there because, okay, so she wants to go ahead and start stealing. She wants to go inside the grocery store, start throwing things in her cart, and she's going to have a big cousin that can no one stop, etc. Well, your ass is going to end up in jail.
Right. You're going to get your cousin in trouble too. Por andar de allí de mitotero.
And then if she ends up in jail, what happens to the kids?
I don't know. Does the cousin have an aunt? Do they have uncles? Do they? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, well, you got yourself in this mess. I mean, the kids don't have the fault. It's your fault. So let's say the government opens up again and you're
Mhm,
able to get your food stamps.
mhm.
Great, you got your food stamps back, but you also have a charge.
Hello.
Was it
Yeah.
worth it? Some people like, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. But is it not worth it that if you do get food stamps, I do
Mm,
know for a fact that it ends up accumulating depending on the state. Do you
mm,
not have any money that you've saved?
mm.
Like
Now,
there are
for
many questions here. There are many ways that, we can go around this situation.
mm, okay. Now, for the sake of again, this series is called Less Politic. You're a conservative, okay, by nature. I'm also a conservative, but I like to play devil's advocate. So if I can, amiga, just for the sake of the video, can I be a liberal? I'm gonna be a liberal.
Go ahead.
Okay, here I go. But Velma, don't you take into consideration that people need to eat?
Of course I do.
So what's wrong with her doing anything she has to do to feed her babies?
That there's another way out of it. There's a loophole around it. It's just the fact
Mm,
that she wants it easy. She
gotcha.
doesn't want to work hard. And this is the thing. You live in a world where there needs to be reciprocity. You give to get back. So if you can't work and if you don't have a job, why don't you go do community service? Is your time so much? What's an hour?
Okay.
What's two
Well,
hours?
yeah, exactly. So you went ahead and opened up that can of worms.
Pero les
What?
cuesta. Community service les cuesta.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. People don't want to give their time. They'd rather be paid for their time. So why not get paid by actually working your time by getting food stamps? You know what I mean?
I
It's
do.
we go around to the same thing. There's a way out. You just
Mm.
don't want that way out. You want the other way out.
So let me ask you, what are your thoughts then, amiga, as far as families that are on welfare, EBT, and they make it a generational thing where they will use the resources and then teach their children how to use the resources, and that gets passed on and passed on and passed on. What are
It
your
shouldn't be a
thoughts?
thing. We shouldn't, as Mexican Americans, we shouldn't be uh in that category, to be honest with you, because we're very hardworking.
Mhm.
We know what we want, and we're good at la labia. Hey, si se puede, si se vamos a hacerle. Where there's a will, there's a way. So why can't you try to start your own thing? Be an
Mhm.
entrepreneur. Stop relying on the government, because look at this situation. We have the Republicans and we have the Democrats. We have people literally at each other's necks saying, oh, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's their fault, and this and that. But in reality, the government doesn't care about you enough to feed you, so you have to figure it out on your own.
Mm.
That's the whole point of a free thinker. You want to be able to figure it out on your own, and you don't want anybody to be able to have something over you.
Right. Exactly. Well, you just brought I wanted to bring this up. This is by way of American Cholo. Shout out to American Cholo. He's done a lot of positive things for the community. And he put this out there. I mean, I want to get your thoughts on there. Should people under the age of 60 who receive Section 8 or food stamps be required to work or volunteer at least 20 hours a week? What do
Yes,
you think?
yes, yes.
Mm,
And also, if y'all would like to, y'all should really volunteer at the library. Because I heard that if you teach children, you end up teaching yourself some things. So
at least
there's a lot of
volunteer.
community service.
And what if they refuse to do so? Or what if they can't? Or I'm just devil's advocate over here. What if they
How
don't
can they
want?
not?
Mm,
Tienen dos patas, dos patas, tienen dos manos,
mm. But
tienen
amiga,
cabecita, tienen cabecita para esto, tienen cabecita para, you know what I'm doing, right? Tienen cabecita para andar así con los video games. Puedes también levantar una cosa. Nothing's going to happen to you. You can lift something up. It's not that if you can't, it's the fact that you don't want to. That's the difference. It's a choice. The thing here is that people want things for free.
Someone's going to say that's inhumane, amiga. Why are you putting loopholes, obstacles, when it just boils down to people surviving and people getting food?
How is it inhumane?
You're saying people shouldn't eat
No,
if they don't
people should
volunteer.
eat, but people need to work for what they eat. I
Mm,
mean, how do they do it in Mexico? A ver, déjame limpiarte el vidrio y dame, porque tengo hambre. Quiero papa.
mm,
A ver,
mm.
ok, quiere trabajar el señor, ándale. Gente que miras, you see people that can't, that's when you give. That's the humane. But if you have somebody that can and is willing, why not?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's keep it moving, amiga. I want to see it. We're also going to talk about immigration, and a couple things you just mentioned right now led me to another point. But let me go ahead and let me get into this one, amiga. So this was a story that came out, amiga. California. Again, it's like its own country over here, amiga. They're giving out driver licenses to whoever wants a CDL, and these aren't Class E's. These are like Class A driver's license with endorsements to be able to drive hazardous stuff or just huge cargo. I'm sure you've seen this story. It says right here, semi-truck driver suspected of matando 3 people in a DUI crash on the 10 freeway, Ontario yesterday is an Indian. Pues tú ya sabes, people get triggered, but it says illegal alien. Some people don't want to hear that. Okay, well, undocumented person. And let's go ahead and see. I want to make sure, can you see it? Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, I want to make sure we're both seeing it together. By way of this video.
Dash cam video, which is now the subject of several law enforcement investigations. It shows the moment a red semi-truck plowed into a number of vehicles on the westbound 10 freeway in Ontario just after 1 p.m. yesterday. The CHP told the LA Times the driver of this big rig is a 21-year-old man who is now under arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs. A total of 4 semis were involved and also 4 passenger vehicles, one of them exploding in flames. 3 people were killed and 4 others were taken to local hospitals. This horrific crash happened just east of the 15 freeway and shut down all westbound lanes for more than 12 hours. Thousands of drivers were trapped in the gridlock just as the evening commute was getting underway. It's also near the exclusive.
Okay, amiga, with this story in mind, now for the topic of conversation, I guess I want to say, who do you blame for that accident, for the 3 people passing away? Who is at fault?
Can I point something out before I answer that question?
Absolutely.
Just para que le quede claro a todos, just so everybody knows, they're not all Mexican. Okay, that's 1. 2, I'd say, I mean, there are people behind this, obviously, who gave him the, what did he get an illegal, like a paper?
A Class
that was
A, yeah, he
fake?
got a Class A trucking license that some states like Michigan, Illinois, California, they're predominantly blue states, just hand them out like candy because, again, there's a philosophy that if you don't do
And the
something,
people who ended up doing it or signing off on it need to be held accountable. That person also for being under the influence, and hopefully, and my condolences to the people who passed away, to their families, because like that shouldn't even be happening, but unfortunately it did. And that's the thing, who is actually giving out these papers? Who is actually giving out these licenses to be able, like, are you actually doing your research? Are you actually figuring out, did you know that they were illegal? How much money did they pay you? I start thinking all these things. What's behind the curtain? Is there more? Because obviously somebody had to have given him that to be able to do, like to be able to get in the truck.
But amiga, he's just trying to work just trying to come to America and make an honest living.
Mm.
And this is
Honest,
an
honest,
unfortunate.
honest, honest. That's the key word. Honest. That's great. Great. I love keywords, but can we please use them in correct contexts?
Mm,
Because if he's doing it honestly, then he would have came legally, not illegal.
mm.
Yeah.
I get it. And this was the second known incident. And of course, publicized and emphasized. We have to face the reality. Right-wing pages are going to push things that push their agenda. Left-wing pages are going to push things that push their agenda. And somewhere in the middle is common sense. And here on Chicano Tube is where I try to be that common sense. And that's why I believe the channel has grown in the last 2 years. This is the second incident. There was another incident, and that happened in Florida, where this driver just cut across the whole highway, and a vehicle carrying 3 teenagers smashed right into it, and they all lost their life. So I guess the narrative is, if they wouldn't have been able to enter the country, then this wouldn't have happened. Do you agree with that?
It could have happened to anybody at this point.
Mm,
There are a lot of here, even before having an illegal alien, we have people that are here. So if we're going to look at common sense, we have it here already. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? But
mhm,
once you have more people and we don't know who these people are, yes, it become a problem because you have more people.
mhm, mhm,
And you're not, they're not even registered. Because if you're here illegally, you're not, documented. You're not put anywhere. Where are your fingerprints unless the border patrol gets you and then they let you go. You were catch and release
mm.
because they
Yeah.
have to fingerprint you.
So you're saying if there was some kind of standard testing, examination process,
No,
and
what
stuff.
I'm saying here is the fact that what the question that we were on, or the topic that,
Yeah.
the whole discussion on, if these people were here, whose fault was it? We already have it here in America. But since we're having all these people, or these people that had came in underneath the Biden administration, we do have that problem to where we don't know who you are unless you were caught by the border patrol and fingerprinted and catch and release, like they just released you. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
That's why they say, oh, we have a lot of quote unquote sleeper cells here.
Mm,
Yeah,
I've
we
heard that.
do, because we don't know who these people are. Again, illegals.
Amiga, how can someone be illegal on stolen land?
Oh, how did I know you were about to say that?
I
Oh my
don't.
gosh, it's like we read each other's minds. Wow. Wow. Maybe we should go and look for Santana's tomb and go and scream at him and say, why, dude? Why were you a sellout?
Mm,
I mean, why are there papers in place?
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Amiga,
So
yeah,
I don't get it.
absolutely. Absolutely. This kind of coincides with what we're talking about right here. Amiga, this meme says bartenders go to jail for over serving drunks who kill someone. So judges should face jail time when the criminals they release do the same. Now, does that kind of make sense? I mean, I don't think it'll ever be a practice in the American system, judicial or anything, but what do you think about that?
Bartenders go to jail for over serving drinks.
To kill someone. That means instead of telling them, hey, ya
It says
pasó.
who kills someone. Okay,
Mm,
who kill? I'm sorry. It's just trying to who
yeah.
kills someone. So so are those all bartenders?
The instances where there's been a fatality
Mm-hmm.
and they get the video surveillance, the guy is falling on his face outside the bar, and maybe it's a dive bar who obviously wants the money, keeps serving the guy drinks, no limit on the drinks. And there's been some cases documented in the United States where now bartenders are liable for people passing away. And it actually brings me to another story.
Hmm.
If you have anything to say on
I mean,
that.
if there is proof and there's proof in the pudding,
Yeah.
yeah, you should be liable. Hello, you were doing it out of your own volition, and on top of that, there's money in the middle. You're doing it out of vain, so of course, Money does money makes people do crazy things.
Te digo. Te
Mhm.
digo. I'm trying to find, let me see, because that was a perfect segue and see if I could find. Where's the video? Where's the video? Here it is. This actually pertains over to this story. Let's watch the video.
Life ended on a subway in Charlotte, and it just gets even sadder. This is the footage immediately after she was attacked and stabbed in the neck. So it looks like the man in the gray immediately gets up and walks away, walking right past Irena without saying a word or even checking on her. Right after, this lady and this man also get up and leave, and the two people in the back seem to stay put, but not a single person went to help her. You can see the fear in her eyes right after this happened and the confusion as to why. She then immediately looks to others for some sort of assistance or comfort, but receives nothing. All as she is visibly bleeding out onto her clothes and on the floor in literally her last moments. And as she realizes what just happened, she begins crying to herself all alone. Maybe if one of these people tried to help her in any way, she could still be here today. Rest in peace to Irena. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Amiga, did you see that story come across the
Yeah, I
internet?
did.
Okay, so what we said right now with the judges, this man was a repeat offender. They actually have 16 times he's been taken into custody in the United States judicial system. And I guess it coincides with what we said, you know, hey, should judges be liable also for people they keep releasing? Again, these are more in liberal states where they're more apapachar la gente. Oh, let him go. Yeah, he got 10 DUIs, but he'll learn his lesson. Let him go. And then this situation happened right here. Can I get your thoughts on this situation as soon as it broke on the internet? What did you
Put
think?
him down. Put him down. Very simple. Put him down. I don't care. You let somebody go, it's like a child. You don't discipline the child. What happens? The child ends up doing something worse. And at that point, I do think that, you know, people in general who don't know how to control their emotions can literally be dangerous and a liability. On top of that, if you're going to, I'm surprised that nobody did anything to help her. Have we gone that numb as a society? Have we been that desensitized that when we see somebody get shot or when we see somebody get stabbed, we're just gonna, you know, whatever. It's not my fault. Not well. Hello, it's not your fault, but you're watching it.
Gotcha.
At least you could have at least, you know what? Oh my gosh, let me help stop the bleeding. To her aid. Fuck the dude. The dude's gonna probably come back and do something to you if you try to do something to him. Try to help her.
Now, you said that he should no longer exist and be here. That means you are for death penalty?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Why do I have to? First of all, it's gonna sound very ugly out of me, but oh well, it is what it is. Because at the fact that if I pay, like let's say it would have happened in my state of Texas, right? Why would I want to pay for somebody to live in a cell that is going to continue to do what he's doing? So, excuse me, hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time, Basically what she's saying, gente, she's like, I don't want to pay taxes on a cabron to live the rest of his life on my taxpayer money. And so I guess, I don't know what she's saying, an eye for an eye or something like that, but I will be
accountability. And at this point, you took somebody's life. Well, guess what? Gonna sucks to suck. Because at this point, that's how, I mean, that's how the liberals look at it. It is what it is. Okay, babe. It is what it is, baby.
Okay. Yeah. So what would happen if this was...
I don't know. Maybe it sounds very
No. I respect the fact that you're just very blunt and direct, and I think that's why people tune in to you, Amiga, as you're blowing up on TikTok. Don't forget to follow me, Amiga, on TikTok. She's over there holding panels and holding it down and shooting shots and taking bullets, and she doesn't care. Mi Amiga, what would happen if this was, say it was a white man, and say it was an African-American woman? What would happen in the United States if that was the case and this erupted?
Well, first of all, you'd have people obviously throwing the race card out.
Mm.
That'd be the first thing. And then obviously he's a man, she's a woman. And it'd be the same thing. Bye.
Damn.
Goodbye.
Mm.
I don't care what color you are. You can be a fucking Skittle for all the hell I care. You can be a damn Snicker for all the hell I care. Bye. If it were to be white on Mexican, Mexican on white, goodbye. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Mm.
Bye.
And I agree with you. I see things exactly like you see things. I don't see skin color, but you know, there's people on the internet, Amiga, and let's just keep it honest, right? Just to being fair, it's mostly liberals on the internet that are the loudest. Again, respect, shout out to all my liberals. I've had a couple on the podcast as well. I can't wait to have more so we can have dialogues and I can do devil's advocate on the opposite shoe. So there's you know, there's been liberals on the internet. They're the loudest. They're the loudest on the internet. And it seems that the number one thing they can't wait to point out is skin color. You disagree with that?
No, I agree.
100%.
100%.
Mm.
And I think those people are the racists.
This was a horrible situation. And there's another video, I don't have it loaded up right now, but where they told that man right here who committed the atrocity, they told him in court, Amiga, that he was facing the rest of his life and possibly the death penalty, y como se desmayó en la corte. Like, I think
Like, shut up and sit down. Like literally just get him out of the courtroom. Like, just get him out. Alcohol. All right, pégale, algo. Wake up. You'll be fine. Now you gotta go in and deal with what they have for you in there.
And
Ahora sí, se va a torear.
Yeah, it might have been the media pressure too, as well, right? Because politics play on a lot of different levels, especially when someone's coming up for election or anything like that. And now we got to push the envelope on this situation and show you're not going to release him for the 17th time after he did. This is what he did. It's very unfortunate, Amiga. It's very unfortunate, but I want to keep it moving, Amiga. I want to keep it moving. All right. I wish we switch over into, I think, immigration. I want to get into immigration. Before we go ahead and do immigration, I want to get your thoughts on this is in Mexico. It's immigration,
familias
amiga.
enteras en el estado mexicano de Chiapas, fronterizo con Guatemala. Bajo la presión de la administración de Donald Trump y en un intento de frenar un éxodo que crece día a día, las autoridades mexicanas recurren a la deportación. Y aunque el gobierno de Andrés Manuel López Obrador prometió un trato justo para los migrantes, algunos de los detenidos denunciaron haber recibido todo lo contrario.
¡Me golpearon mi hijo! ¿Qué le hicieron? ¡Estos perros me golpearon mi hijo!
Desde octubre del año pasado, miles de centroamericanos...
Okay, so amiga, these are immigration practices that happen in the country of Mexico. Mexico does not play. They will throw you out. Again, if they come over the border, they're thinking, as any other country thinks, my resources are getting depleted, etc. But no one talks about Mexico and what they do. But people love to talk about the United States and what happens in the United States. That the United States is the bad guy, etc. I guess there's two different ideologies. You know, one is, hey, the United States is thriving, prospering, policies are in place that are effective, etc. And then there's another ideology that, no, it's the bad guy. United States is the boogeyman, chinga, United States. And And the same people that say that don't want to leave here, but they want to throw mud at the United States. But no one brings up Mexico's very strict, harsh immigration practices, the way they detain people aggressively and the way where they just throw people out. They're not going to waste any judicial time on due process. I want to get your thoughts on why people view the United States policies and only throw it at them, but don't bring up the way that Mexico's immigration policies and they do theirs. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, as you see, they're grabbing people, they're throwing them in the van, and they're being so inhumane. But when America does it, obviously, we're the bad ones, but we're not grabbing them like that. Oh, no, no, no. Because if we grab them like that, we're bad. But when Mexico does it, it's okay. That's a double standard, right? And so here's the thing. When they say, no, well, Mexico, they can do it. Of course they can. Good for Mexico. But America can do it too. See, because the word free doesn't mean you get everything free without accountability and consequences. Free has a limit. You don't get to do whatever the hell you want. And since it's the free world, it's a free country, I have freedom here. Freedom is taken out of context. Very much so. At this point, the word oh my gosh, on TikTok it's schmatzi, but the word Nazi has no freaking meaning to it. The word racist has no meaning to it. So in reality, y'all are really like, do y'all need a dictionary or something? Like, do y'all really like let's stop acting stupid. At this point, I'm fatigued. We're all tired. A ver, ellos pueden, pero nosotros no. How does that work? How does that work? I don't get it. I did a video where this lady said, sáquenlos de aquí. They're doing all this bullshit here and all that. Bien chingona la señora. Hey, that's a patriot. Where is that here? Good for her. And then people are telling me, oh no, well, you don't know. Excuse me. Mexico's AID is gone. They can't take care of more people. So they got to take care of their own people. Just like America has to take care of themselves. But people don't want to understand that. They don't want the truth in their face.
So the lady that said, get these people out of here, she's Mexican. And
Yeah,
she's
Mexican.
talking about Central Americans. Get these people out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make her a racist?
No. Why would that make her a racist? How does that make her a racist? Oh, wait, but Mexico's racist. But everybody, you see the contradiction right there? Mexico's not racist. Get out of here. It's racist. Well, which one is it, dude? Didn't we already go over this already? Where have you been? Are you barely waking up? So then we're all racist at this point. Again, no meaning to a word.
We've been hearing it for 10 months, etc. And let's just be honest. I mean, just like me, I fall into this category. I don't know if you fall into this category, but if 2016 never would have took place, right? It just would have been status quo, one rhino on this side. There's rhinos on both sides, red, blue, there's rhinos. There's people that should have retired, but are making a living out of politics 50, 60 years. And their net worth is $100 million when they have a $100,000 salary. There's rhinos on both sides. What I want to say is, amiga, what do you say if someone says, well, they're just coming over to get the American dream? Why stop them from coming? What's wrong with them coming?
Nothing's wrong with them coming as long as they're legal. And on top of that, these people are not coming over to America. They're stranded in Mexico. They're not coming over here for sure. That's not, I mean, they could try. If they get caught, they're going to get deported back. It's going to be the same thing.
So it's a double standard, you think?
I think it's a double standard, of course. And on top of that, like, why would I be a hypocrite and say, no, they're doing a bad job in Mexico? No, that's bad for Mexico. When Like, for example, the people that say Viva Mexico, right? Viva
Sí.
Mexico, Viva Mexico. Bien patriota. Bien patriotas. Okay, cool. Well, why aren't you saying good job, Mexico, for what they're doing? Since Viva Mexico. You should be at favor for it. You shouldn't be angry at it. You shouldn't look at it as, oh my gosh, no, you were wrong. You were wrong, and you know you were wrong, and you just don't like being wrong. That's the issue.
Well, okay, amiga. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. I appreciate your input. You guys hit that like button. We appreciate you guys taking your time and joining us over here. Let's go ahead and get into, well, let's go ahead and continue on immigration. This is something that Poland said. I'm not sure if this is just a commentator or someone inside of politics, but I wanted to hear it, play it with you, and then get your take on it.
Has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you're asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal
failed.
immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission president, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland, and we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you're asking me about Muslims illegal.
All right, and he goes ahead and repeats it. So if you heard him say, he says Poland, the country of Poland has a very strict zero tolerance immigration laws when it comes to taking refugees. And specifically, they're talking about Muslim refugees. Now, of course, there's bad characters in every group and there's good characters in every group. But it's funny how this man says something pretty blatant and out there that kind of, I think it's the sentiment of the United States as well, like as Poland. Do you think that from hearing him and saying, you can think what you want of us, you can call us anything you want, but our streets are safe? What do you think about that?
So we have to actually look at the fact that Europe has fallen, okay? Europe is literally taken over by Muslims right now. There are literally people who are out in the streets, men who are protesting and saying, we want our country back. Good for them. They're literally fighting off men, Muslim men, who have came refugees. And when you're a refugee, aren't you scared? Don't you want to actually make, your life better instead of going and hurting someone else? Because a refugee, if we look at the Merriam-Webster's, it's a person who flees to a foreign country or power to escape danger or persecution. So wouldn't that person have some type of what we call empathy, but it's really sympathy for themselves and for other people to not hurt other people? I mean, it's pretty,
common sense.
Common sense. Exactly. It's common sense there. If you're a refugee and you need help, you're a victim, right? But then you have all these people doing things to younger women. Literally, I think she was probably maybe like 12, 13 years old. She had to have like a machete with her walking down the street of England. How far is Poland from there? They're seeing what these people are doing. They're seeing what these people want to bring over, and they're like, no, we don't want it. It might sound a little radical because that's what it sounds like, radical, but there's a reason behind it. They're looking at Europe, they're looking over to their neighbor, and they're like, oh, shoot. Yeah, no, I don't want that over here. They're looking at the other one, they're like, ay, wait, no, we don't want that here. Why? Because he has to take care of his people. It's like a child. It's like a parent and a child. You'll do anything for your child. You'd literally kill for your child.
No,
Somebody
yeah.
does something to your child, hell no. It's I will literally rip your head off. That type of thing. So
Mm,
hello, he has to take care of his children. He has to take care of a whole place because they're killing people. Here in
mm,
America, I mean, look at New York. I'm not saying they're killing people. I mean, they have. They have. It's New York, you know. Homicides happen all the time. But why do we have Muslim cops? Why do
mm.
we need Muslim police?
Right.
What's the catch there? Is it because they want to help, or is it because they want to, you know, slowly but surely start giving their agenda that they want so they could be able to control?
I get that. And so what do you think as far as um Muslims? They're not all, I see. I think we're talking
Mhm.
about the extremists, right?
Right.
Those are the ones that
It's the same
are
thing. Like there's bad Mexicans, there's good Mexicans, there's bad white people, there's bad good white people, there's good Jews and bad Jews. There's literally white people, like you know, every color of the race. There are good and bad. It's just that some people think that one group is way worse than the other, and they don't want to see the reality of good and evil.
I agree with you on that. Amiga, let's go ahead and keep it on the topic. There has been large groups of practicing Muslims in the United States. And again, good and bad. We're not talking about the good. We're only talking about the bad right here. But do you think it is against the United States interest to have, say, other religions that have, well, been at odds against Christianity, growing in concentrations and pockets of groups? Like right here, you have people in New York City. I don't want to play what he's saying because it might strike it or something like that. He's a pretty big guy right here, but
Myron.
yeah, Myron. So they're doing a lot of things like this. Do you see that as a red flag for the United States?
I see it as a red flag to, first of all, I'm a Christian. Okay, everybody, just because I have a Jewish heart, you're a Jew. No, 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 no. Get it straight. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus literally is Christ. Okay.
Right.
So when we talk about freedom of religion, there's freedom of religion, but there has to be a line in between good and evil. Okay. There has to be that you get to pray, but you pray at home. Out in the street, okay, Christians do it too. We pray when we get food. All right. You gotta pray. Okay, pray. But here's the kicker. Once you start to say freedom of religion, I can do whatever I want. So that means I can go and kill somebody. Hold on. Wait. That's wrong. That's wrong because that's already a law. And we don't need laws because the human psyche knows that it's wrong, whether you know Christ or not. See, because that's that conscience that God gave you, because you're made in his image, right? So if you know that it's wrong and you know that you shouldn't kill, you feel that it, like, you know, you actually do, you're like, why am I feeling this? Is because it's your conscience convicting you. And you're gonna think about it twice. Unless you're, I don't know, a psychopath or what's that what other, it has to be a psychopath, right?
We'll see, un loco.
Yeah,
Something.
you have to be able to see somebody and to do something like that. I don't know if you heard about that little girl who her dad had to do some killing ritual or whatever, and they're Muslim. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, in the United
Her
States?
dad almost killed her. And while they were stopping it, the mom was saying, my husband. Wait, hold up. I bet again. What? I can only imagine this, but what goes on at home. And that right there, that's wrong right there. Because they literally think that because I get to do what I want. We're in a free country. I get to kill. Because over there they let me. But here they don't.
I want to go ahead and play. This was, and we had someone from Texas right now that commented, and that was Droops 408, and he said something about they're building a city over there in Texas.
Yeah, they want to do that. They want to bring their Sharia law. And honestly, we should be paying attention to New York, because whatever happens, like how I said, how I say, these are countries, right? Europe has fallen. These are countries, okay? America and Europe. What affects one country can affect another country. What can affect one state can happen in another state. New York, Texas. If that shit comes over here, which I don't think it will, I hope it won't, and I pray it won't, because I believe personally that we should be looking at New York. Because whatever happens over there should be a lesson to over here that we don't want that. We don't want that, because what if, we decide to have our own opinions and somebody ends up, in a corner somewhere. I'm not saying they'll do that, but what I'm saying is if they're willing to do it to their own kids, if they believe that, I trickle down common sense.
This video
It's not everybody,
right?
But there are people.
Now, I think this video is coming from way of Texas. Let's check it out.
I proclaim the name of the Lord Jesus Christ over the capital of Texas. I stand against Islam and the false prophet Muhammad. Islam will never dominate the United States, and by the grace of God, it will not dominate Texas.
Do you, amiga?
I proclaim.
What do you think about that? Do you applaud that? Or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I applaud that. Why? Because they're out there, trying to do the same thing. What's the problem? And on top of that, where are the men? Does it have to be a Deborah? I mean, Deborah ended up giving it over to a man, which, I give hats off to Deborah, because I wouldn't want to do that work. But at the end of the day, does it have to be a woman to say the truth? I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to emasculate anybody who's in Texas, right? Who's seeing me right now, but I mean, come on. Because if we really look at it, when people say, "Oh, Aisha was not 9 years old," no. She was 9. She was 9.
Amiga, devil's
It's horrible.
advocate. Absolutely, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Amiga, devil's advocate, but this is the United States, where people have the freedom to practice any religion they want. You've seen pinches templos del diablo and other things. What if they're just trying to unite or they're just trying to practice their religion? Is that something un-American?
Don't try to put it down on anybody's throats, the same way you don't want Christianity to go down yours. Because at that point, let's just be real. People will deny Christ and they will say, "Oh my gosh, well, it's because the Christian." Okay, all right. And when you get the Christian that doesn't, I guess I'm very, I'm very, outspoken about my faith. I do not care. But when you get a Christian who is telling you, "Oh no, all this stuff," it really diminishes the whole reason and the whole knowledge of Jesus, period. So the same way I wouldn't want Sharia law down my throat is the same way they wouldn't want Jesus down their throat. It's as simple as that. You're in America, you get to do what, you get to pray to whoever you want. That's great, but you can't kill, my love. Sorry.
Something that
same way a Christian can't kill.
Yeah. Something
unless they're defending themselves. Different.
Have you seen a lot of these influencers? And I'm talking about brown influencers like me and you, amiga. Have you seen a lot of these influencers? They push pro-Palestine, and we're gonna talk about ICE right now and Antifa right now. We're gonna end it with ICE and Antifa. They push all these things out there, but I always wondered, amiga, why don't these brown influencers talk about Jesus, talk about Christianity, talk about God, talk about the Lord? And then it dawned on me, amiga, most of these influencers are in it for their political agendas, and that supersedes what, let's say, traditionally brown people have as our faith, which the center of our faith is the Lord Jesus Christ. But I never hear these influencers ever, and I mean ever, talk about Jesus, the Lord, God, nothing. But they will sure cram down your throat Palestine, ICE, racism. Do you agree with me on that? That I think they're more politically motivated instead of wanting to look out for the brown community and the brown people?
Let's just be for real. Okay? The same way the Jews deny Jesus is the same way somebody is going to get denied if they're talking about Jesus. The reason why people don't talk about Jesus is because his name carries weight.
Mm.
Like it really, really does. Hijo de su. I find it sad.
Mm.
You're right. Because they're in it for the money. They're in it for possibly a sponsorship, possibly a like. Maybe they need that hit of dopamine to be like, oh my gosh, somebody actually cares about me. But in reality, they're leaving somebody out. Why
Yeah.
is you're right? Why is that? It could it be because he stands in truth
I'm
and the
like,
truth shall set you free?
this is the center of our religion, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Christian, it's the Lord Jesus Christ. But these brown influencers don't talk about that. And I'm like, wait a second. Are they more politically motivated, or is it that subconsciously in their head, amiga, they want to put out this agenda to have Jesus tied into some kind of white supremacy? Do
Or
you
it could be Jesus is beneficial to me whenever he is. I'm not
think?
saying all influencers, brown influencers are out there because Lord forgive me that anybody comes on and say, you said this and blah blah. No, 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 no. Like let's be for real here.
Mm.
Are we going to be offended?
Mm.
Well, then again, Jesus did offend a lot of people. The Bible is offensive. And that's why people don't like it.
I was just like, wait a second, how can you say you're brown, and not have Jesus at the center of whatever it is you believe in, Catholicism or Christianity, Protestant, whatever it is you practice? How could you not push that? And then I said, wait a second, some brown influencers have an agenda to tie the Lord over into that box, which is the supremacy box. Just like the way I believe there's some brown influencers that want to tie the American flag over in the same thing and put the American flag, that if you wear the American flag, I'm like, I don't have a motherfucking problem with the American flag. My dad, I remember him back in the 80s with his American flag tank top or an American hat. But now the internet is very agenda driven. So these brown influencers don't talk about Jesus. They rather talk about Palestine. But who are these brown influencers going to cry out to if they get into a bind? Palestine?
Well,
Those are just my observations. You don't
no,
have
no,
to
no.
agree
See,
with me,
you
but
you have a point. Tienes razón. Like
I just wanted
at
to
the
put
end of
that.
the day, we breathe in and breathe out Yahweh. Okay? We breathe in and breathe out the name of the Lord,
See.
for God's sakes. And you can't get up and say, thank you, Lord, for all these followers. Thank you, Lord, for all this stuff. At least, even though, yes, it sounds very vain, but at least you're thanking creator, being, whoever you believe in. Because to be honest with you, if a person is not rooted in the divine or somebody or something that they can hold on to, then they're not liable anywhere else. They become a liability in themselves, with themselves, because they believe in themselves when there's higher. So in reality,
Mm.
if you don't believe in anything, I'd say, okay. Do you
I
at
get
least believe in yourself?
I've been calling out these influencers for already months already, going on 2 years. Like, wait a second, man.
And
Where's
believe, hold on. Like, I'm sorry. Believing in yourself, we're flawed. I'm so sorry. This is just poof. Believing in ourselves, we're so flawed. So who are we gonna believe in? We need something perfect. We need somebody perfect. And
just
it's
like the term
Jesus.
self-made? A lot of people say self-made is another term right here. Amiga, we're switching gears over to one of our favorite cities, Portland. Here is Portland, Oregon. I'm gonna play this video and then I want to get your reaction on it. Por favor. This happened in Portland. I'm just gonna stop the music because it might be copyrighted, but it sounds like some kind of heavy metal music. So this is Portland Antifa. It says Portland Antifa just got mopped by a 4-foot blonde chick. That's what it said. 4-foot blonde chick. That's kind of like a Chicano term, blonde chick. That sounds Chicano right there. But this came across the internet, amiga. She let her hands go in the middle of the crowd. I had someone tell me, amiga, tell me in the comment section, Antifa is not real. They don't exist. It's only a philosophy, a figment of your imagination. What do you think about that statement?
Well, I hope they don't ever, encounter Antifa.
Because this looks like it's something real. It doesn't look like, well, who are they
It's
fighting?
real, and it's real. I mean, what was the whole context? They got in her face and she started swinging or something like that. I was reading. I saw it too.
Yeah, the tempers are gonna flare, and that's what happened. She started throwing hands. Devil's
She got
advocate.
hands. I'm gonna tell you that.
Devil's advocate. I mean,
She does.
she's got hands. I'll tell you that.
She got hands, and good for her to get people out of the way if they touched her. Yeah.
Devil's advocate. Are you for violence?
If you touch me, I do get violent. Yes. You can tell me all you want. You can scream at me, you can throw the finger at me, you can call me any name in the book, but the moment you spit at me or you hit me, I wouldn't
Act like this 4-foot blonde chick?
maybe because hello, you have to be able to defend yourself. And then on top of that, these people don't understand that we're not playing with you, especially after what we saw happen to Kirk. We're not playing. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, if you're a conservative, a liberal, libertarian, whatever the hell. Nobody should be freaking putting their hands on anybody. Keep your hands to your fucking self. It's just common sense. Like, I don't understand why people can't understand that.
Well, it's because the internet comes up with these kind of revolutionary memes that we've had enough for 600 years. It's gonna take sangre. It's gonna take this and that, and it's calling for violence. And I say, when you resort to violence, you've already lost.
100%.
You can't do it intellectually, so you have to do it with your knuckles
Because they don't have the words for it. And how is it anybody else's fault that you don't know how to control your emotions and have a civil conversation with somebody that just, we all know where you're going to end up if you do something violent, either in jail or you're going to be dead. Is that the type of stereotype that we want to bring back as a community?
Right. So what do you think about that talking point? It's the newest talking point on the internet. Well, Antifa's not real. They're not real, to downplay them because this administration has now designated them as a terrorist organization. So I think they're real. What do you think
they're
about
real
that
too.
talking point?
I mean, here's the thing. Out of mind, out of sight. Is it out of mind, out of sight? Out of sight, out of mind. There you go. Right. So if you say they're not real, then people start to believe their own lies, right? When clearly people who have common sense growing in their garden can clearly see. I mean, I can see with my 4 eyes, for God's sakes, that it looks real. It's not AI. But the thing here is they don't want consequences. That's why they're saying that it's fake.
Mm.
There's no accountability. So this is the thing, y'all. If the police are not going to do anything about it, if the men are not going to do anything about it, and there's going to be people that are going to end up doing something about it, and like that lady. She got
4 foot
hands. Good
lunches.
for her. Good for
Okay.
her.
Transitioning over, amiga, we're going to talk about ICE to end it off, which is immigration. This is a clip coming from, it looks like it's California, and I want to play it.
Of course, the next couple of weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker, where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on. I shared this with the mayor. Over the course of the next couple of weeks,
one more time,
the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker, where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on. I shared this with.
Okay, so he said what he said. This is something that's obviously getting, picked up by blue states. What are your thoughts on this? Are you okay with it, or are you not okay with it?
Okay, when they say a tracker, they mean, and then he says community. Does he mean by the community is going to tell on people?
Yeah, he's talking about social media will come up with a network in order to let people know ICE is here, they're pulling out an operation, etc. And that's basically what they're saying. So they want to come up with websites, they want to come up with apps. That way people will be notified when ICE is around or coming. You agree with that?
I mean, to appease the public?
To stop
what it
people
is?
from getting detained, from getting what the internet calls
Oh, you're talking about
kidnapping.
so yeah, that they made these apps or something like that. Well, I mean, where are you gonna hide? Where are you gonna run? You're gonna keep running over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. It's like cat and mouse at this point.
Never come home or hide somewhere. Exactly. So they want to come up with this ICE. Yeah. They want to come up with this ICE tracker right here to lets people know exactly where ICE is coming. And when I saw that, I was like, well, I mean,
They already have one. They made one online. I had people come up on my TikTok say, "Have you heard this?" And this was like months ago. I mean, didn't that little girl, what's her name? Tatiana? Was her name the one that they got out of her Elon Musk Cybertruck?
See, I can't remember
Right.
the
So I think her name was Tatiana something. My question is, why would you buy yourself an Elon Musk Tesla car when Elon Musk worked for Doge? See, that don't make sense right there. And on top of that, you're illegal trying to tell other illegals where people are at. That's a crime. You're already here, and you already committed a crime, and then you want to commit more crimes.
But amiga,
Are we trying to play proper beer?
There is a movement, amiga, that says saying the word illegal is a false narrative and it's propaganda.
It's
and
a derogatory term, and it's rhetoric and all this stuff. It's a debatable term. It's a debatable topic. It's not that it's wrong. And literally, you can go into, I think it's the immigration, US immigration dot. I have it on my phone somewhere. Where they literally, I have it on one of my videos actually, where I say that it's rhetoric, like it's pretty much like you say it or you don't say it.
See,
is it a bad word now?
Well,
is it a bad word now?
There's a lot of brown
Everything's a bad word.
There's a lot of brown influencers that believe we have to, as a brown community, stop using the word immigrant and start using the word indigenous. though I don't think, but I could be wrong, I don't think they're 100% indigenous. I mean, themselves, right? We're Mexican, etc. Someone the other day, I saw a video and the guy was waving a Mexican flag, and a guy came up to him and he goes, "Hey, don't you know that that's the colonizer's flag? Do you think the Mexican flag is a colonizer's flag?"
Well, I mean, weren't the Spaniards there first? Didn't Mexico get conquered? Again, I'm saying like each indigenous group would conquer themselves. People didn't like people. People enslaved people. Indians enslaved people. You know what I'm saying? So it really has no. It's not up for. I mean, it's a good talking point for somebody that wants to, indulge in that and like say, hey, you know what, this is cool, you know what they used to do and stuff like that. And I'm not saying don't bring back any health practices, don't bring back anything that would benefit, right? Because we have a lot of, for example, herbs and a lot of things that will help us that our ancestors used, or as far as them. But the mindset, are we going to go back to actually, again, how I said, what we were talking about the Muslims, right? But the Muslims don't eat people. We used to.
Well, the
Menudo,
extreme ones,
pozole.
Ay, esta amiga, you're making
Qué
me hungry.
rico, ¿no?
Mira,
Qué
they're
rico.
the Muslims, predominantly are under Sharia law, and Sharia law it does not like a lot of groups that are accepted in the United States. So that's one reason that it would be a bad idea to let that overtake Christianity, which is the faith of the United States. But again, that's just in my opinion. I believe these influencers, like watch, I'm reading one right now that posted something. I believe what they want to do, amiga, is change the system. And in all fairness, there is a system in place that is broken. I mean, as far as immigration, that's I mean, it's already backlogged. They can't do process people. They got to get people out, just like Mexico. In all fairness, we already showed that video. So I think they want to change the systems, the judicial system, the immigration system, the political system in the United States. But what I've been telling these brown influencers to do, they don't want to listen. They want to push these narratives out there on the internet. It sounds good. It sounds cool. It appeases the brown community, and it makes it sound, oh yeah, that's a righteous cause, etc. But you don't want to do the necessary steps in order to revamp things, which is unite, get your voice consolidated, and then take measures where we've already seen it. I mean, we saw an uproar from the farm labor community and the hospitality community, where it caused enough waves that the White House from their podium had to address it. That's how we should do things. But but if you want to go back in time, like you were saying, 600 years, 800 years,
Then you wouldn't have a voice, would you?
Yeah, that's not realistic in 2025. But let's see what they say, amiga. This is a gut-wrenching video, amiga. Here's a guy. He's cleaning up the streets. He's helping the community. He's cleaning the streets, helping the community member, maybe for years, maybe for decades. And it says right here, the indigenous people of the Americas. The first word they're crossing out with red ink, immigrants. See, you got to take that out of your vocabulary, amiga. Don't say immigrants. It says I'm just kidding. It says immigrants are the ones keeping our cities clean, cared for, and running every day. Instead of honoring their labor with dignity, fair pay, or a pathway to citizenship, we criminalize them. They are not, capital N-O-T, criminals. They are workers, parents, and caregivers holding our communities together. Seeking a better life is not a crime. It's a human right. Amiga, I want to get your thoughts. If you see a gut-wrenching video like this, say the guy's been here 30 years, say his kids are in college, say he's paid taxes one way or another, but they're rounding him up and they're picking him up. What do you think?
You've been here for 30 years, but your kids are in college. Why didn't you take care of you first?
But the immigration system is not that easy. It's not overnight that they become citizens.
Right, but you still should have done something. And after 30 years, then you could have done something. You could have at least had some type of paperwork behind and said, hey, I did this. I've been waiting this long. Because
So you
people will
think
tell
that
me, all the time, well, it's because I have this to pay. I'm gonna have this party. I'm gonna have, I have to buy rims for my truck. Okay, so you'd rather have, that behind you, or that on your back, that you might get deported, instead of buying or paying for the quinceañera. Hey, mijita, I have to go do this first, or I have to do that first. Or they'll go buy a house instead of, helping themselves out while they have family members here who they're staying with. There's a will, there's a way. And on top of that, why should we have to be taking care of people who couldn't take care of themselves? If they're trying to take care of themselves, they would at least take care of themselves correctly.
Amiga, I
And
want
that
to read
goes to anybody. You don't have to be an illegal. That goes for anybody.
Amiga, it's not illegal.
Oh,
It's
pardon.
undocumented.
Right.
I want to read this last the bottom of this meme. We haven't read it. The bottom of it, it says, because America is a continent, not a country. I want to get your thoughts on this. We were here before greed and genocide divided and conquered us. Before man-made borders were created to criminalize us. We didn't cross the border crossed us. What do you say when someone has that talking point and they're on one of your pop-in TikTok panels y te están aventando a ti that statement?
Well, then let's blame Santa Ana. Cut the crap and let's just go blame Santa Ana. Oh no, es que a Santa Ana le said, dude, come on. He is the reason why all these indigenous people were left on the other side overnight. So let's go back in time, and if you like, I don't know where he's at, right? But you can go in and talk to him. History and paperwork are already in. I mean, what do you want me to do? Go back in time, get in Nikola Tesla's time machine, and vámonos, para atrás.
So you're saying the territory was conquered in a war that was fair and square between Mexico and America?
Yeah. Hello. I mean, and then on top of it, I mean, he couldn't even win a war, for God's sakes. Of course he's gonna freaking give it over. And on top of that, when he was doing that, he wasn't even living in Mexico at the time, wasn't he? He was living somewhere else. Why wasn't he living in Mexico? That makes no sense
General
to me.
Santa Anna might have won one war. One. I want to give him
Well,
that, but I can't remember. Just one.
Well, there you go.
So this
if he were to be honorable, I think we would be able to remember him more clearly.
Oh, you're going to put it on the general. That's what you're going to do, huh? Well, we're going to wrap it up with this one, amiga. I want to get your opinion. Last but not least, I appreciate everyone that's watching in the comments section, man. You guys are dropping questions. We're not going to be able to answer them, but maybe Velma will be gracious and respond to your questions in there. But amiga, when ICE takes
I'm glad. Hold on, I'm reading one. I'm glad I'm not married to her. I'm glad to not be married to you either.
There you go, throwing shots.
I wouldn't want somebody who's not like-minded like me. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. So Telly,
I was gracious.
ICE kidnapped. This was something that gets posted by a lot of the brown influencers. So is this something righteous you think should be posted, spread awareness about? What are your thoughts on this? First thing let's read it, and then I want to ask you about the word kidnapped. ICE kidnapped at least 25 people here today. They're trying to do the same tomorrow. Show up, shut it down. They're predatory tactics that work against the people. etc. They're giving addresses, they're giving names, and actually asking people to get in the way. That means confront officers, do what you have to. Lightweight almost sounds like do it by any means necessary when they're saying this thing. First thing I want to ask you is, do you call it deportations or do you call it kidnappings?
Deportations.
Why isn't it a kidnapping?
Well, first of all, when you literally say that they're kidnapping somebody, is you're not going to be able to talk to that person ever again. Half of these people end up talking to their family members while they're in custody or they're in another country. Do you remember when people were saying that, oh my gosh, they're throwing them off they're throwing them out of the plane. I don't know if you heard that. They're throwing them out in the plane and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, so then why are they ending up in their country? There's video footage of that. And if we're gonna get all nitty gritty and talk about the U.S. citizens that are getting, detained or they're getting kidnapped as well and all that stuff, well, what were you doing? Were you resisting? Were you getting in the way? Were you trafficking them? What were you doing there? Oh, well, I was at the store with my dad because I saw one where the guy was I think he was at Costco, and they went into Costco and they got the dad. And the guy, he's crying on the floor. Ay, que mi papá, que no sé qué. Okay, all right. Why are you on the floor though? What were you doing? Did you get in? Oh, well, that's my dad. Okay, that's your dad. But you also have you have to understand something. If you were to do something, your parent would have to leave you there. Okay? And your parent would want you to at least, think for yourself. Okay, ya está grande el guy or whatever. Oh, pobrecito, they had him pinned down too. And look, you see, the dude's still here in the United States. How come you were pinned down? There has to be a reason. What was the backstory? They never want to tell you the backstory. No. It's a narrative that they want. But the thing here is, why don't we go ahead and tell? Because there's always three sides of the story. There's that side, the ICE or the government side, what they're saying, ICE agents and federal, because they're federal. And there's also God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
why should there be people getting in for other people when they probably wouldn't get in for them? If your parent is here illegally and they're hiding, el que nada debe nada teme.
I heard a meme. Gracias for the super chat. Gracias to the new subscriber that just joined the channel. I heard a meme that said this, amiga. I want to get your thoughts. It said, they call it kidnapping, but I've never heard of a kidnapping that returns you back home.
No, that's what I'm saying. They return you back home to your country and you're over there.
But in all fairness, what if their home is here? What if they've been here 20 or 30 years? I mean, don't you think it's a little far-fetched? Oh, return you back home, but you haven't been in that country for 20 or 30 years. Do you think it's okay just to drop them off back there to start off their new life?
If you have kids over here, why don't you have your kids figure out what to do for you? Yeah. Why don't you figure out, or why don't you tell your kid, hey, mijo, if this happens to me, you are a U.S. citizen, right? Okay. Now, at the age of 21, we can figure it out because it was my fault that I came here and I decided to commit the crime. Eso sí, te diría, okay, put in for your parent. Do what you got to do. But if you don't try to find a loophole around it and you're just going to complain and, oh my gosh, this, that, the third, no, okay, you run the risk of your parent not even coming back if they catch them. If you don't self-deport, if you need to self-deport, you run the risk of not ever coming back. You're trusting the United States to come in illegally, but you're not trusting the government to have you back here. Why? Because you know that you committed a crime. You know for a fact that you did something wrong, and that's why you're running away.
But what about the people that say entering the country is not a crime?
What do you mean entering the country is not a crime?
Entering the country without documentation,
It is a
just
crime.
being here
Federal crime.
on American soil
It's a
is not
federal crime. Section 1835, 36, around there. Yeah, federally. See, because people are like, oh my gosh, well, it's a civil. No. We're talking about federal, sweetheart. We're not talking about civil. We're not talking about American citizen here. We're talking about the Americas, but it's like when Cat Williams said, jail and prison are not the same. Yeah. You remember Cat Williams? I love that dude. He's funny.
Yeah, he's
Real
funny.
funny.
Amiga, what
funny.
are you gonna say though? Lastly, well, you know what? You just have the colonizers mentality. You've been colonized.
I've been conquered. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? No, yes, no. I mean, if that be the case, then please stop doing things that colonizers do. You know, please stop celebrating certain things. Don't eat certain food. I mean, everybody,
I know.
like, that's just like, and in reality, when you say that to me, I'm like, you have been conquered. Your mentality has been conquered. You have been conquered because you're literally taking it. You're taking what they're telling you. You're not thinking for yourself. But what do I know? Everybody else knows better for me because they are me. Obviously, the community, mira, la comunidad nos ama bastante. They love us so much that they're willing to throw Santa Muertes. They are so loving. So yes, you are conquered for sure. You have fallen into their game.
So anyone that calls you colonized, you call them conquered. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you fell for their game. It's all a game.
When I saw that video of a guy, he was debating a guy. The guy was holding a Mexican flag, and he went up there. He goes, "Hey, do you know that's the colonizer's flag?" I was like, it kind of took me off guard, and I'm like, but wait a second. If Spain went to Mexico, then the country of Mexico would not have formed subsequently in the hundreds of years later, and then I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here.
Right. They wouldn't be here complaining.
Yeah. But when I did a panel with the Brown Berets, I had a panel on the Brown Berets, and I told them, and this is just me being a Chicano from East Salinas, small town, not getting indoctrinated. Now, I didn't go to college. I didn't have no mentors, people pumping me with indoctrination. I asked them, I said, do you emphasize the indigenous side or the Spanish side? And they told me, oh, we don't emphasize the Spanish side at all, the colonizers and everything like that. And I'm like, but that's the blood that's pumping through your vein. Why would you be ashamed of that? And they kind of just circled around it and kept it moving. To me, that's common sense, but I'm just gonna.
And then on top of that, if somebody wants to circle around a question, they're hiding something. So simple. They're not telling you something that you need to hear, or they're probably like, he's right. They're probably irked. And that's just what it is.
There's people gonna hear you say these things, amiga, and say, you know what? She's been brainwashed. She's
Well, my thing here is,
indoctrinated.
if I'm brainwashed, why don't you go look up the information that I've been telling you and then come back? I probably hear no, fuck you, or anything like that. And that's okay, because if you can't go look for it yourself, then that just tells me that you are the puppet. That you're not willing to, or are you scared that I might be right?
So what do you, in response, what do you tell people that call you a sellout?
To what?
To not being with the cool kids on the internet, brown issues,
I don't
pro-Palestine.
give a shit about being one of the cool kids on the damn internet. Just, what's the issue? Like, it's not about being cool. It's about doing the right thing. For me. Oh, they you know that I get 7,000, all this stuff, all these comments, and I'm like, well, shit, where's the money? Where's the money? Because I don't see it. Who's paying me? Who's sponsoring me? Yeah, that'd be cool. Shit, but I'm not getting paid for nothing.
But your
I don't want anybody
conclusion,
controlling me.
your beliefs and conclusions, you came to them yourself, you're saying.
Right.
Kind of like me.
I had to.
Kind of like me, even though, again, they'll throw whatever at me, and I'm like, shit, I'm just looking for the brown community, what's going to help them. And the number one issue has always been the economy, even though I know people want to put immigration as the number one issue. But guess what? If it would have been a different president, or if Kamala would have entered into office, the economy would have kept tanking. The auto pen would have kept riding.
We would have been in war with Russia. And, at this, shoot, I think there still would have been deportations. I think there still would have been. Honestly,
Yeah,
under Kamala, I don't think it would have changed.
Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. Amiga, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much again, Amiga. This won't be the last of it, but this is a series I'm starting now. Let's Politic. The next guest I'm going to have on, I already got her lined up. She has the complete opposite views that you have. So I'm excited about bringing her on the podcast as well. But again, that Mexican Velma, follow her on IG, follow her on TikTok. Trigger warning though, if you follow that Mexican Velma, trigger warning, just trigger warning right now. Any last words that you want to say, anything of a message to anyone that's watching the video?
Think for yourself. Stop being a puppet. And tokens are people who are useful idiots. So stop being one.
And with that, we're out. I appreciate you, Amiga. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode. Remember what I always say? In the end, all you got is the memories. Let's Politic.